All right, so we're up on top again, and gonna try to get this Vanos line out. So it looks like it's sitting right down in there. You can see it, I got the light shining on it, but there's some things in the way. We gotta be able to free up this top so we can pull the T off of it. And so we gotta take these brackets loose up here. This one bracket we can take off the front and that'll get these pipes out of the way, but it looks like we gotta take the pulley off of the water pump to access the back side of that bracket that goes to the pipe. The one that goes down actually goes to the accumulator, and so that should be free, or there may be one more holding it. Can't really tell until we break it free. We'll see if it'll work. But let's start by getting that bracket off. Let's kind of free these hoses up. So to get them out of the way, looks like they're held on with a clip right there. And what we'll do is just pick a side and take it off, if possible. And we'll just kind of snake that out of the way a little bit. Get that out of the way. Remember, the orientation goes under the coolant line. So that one's out of the way. Now let's go ahead and get our belts off. So the bottom belt's already loose because we took the idler off the bottom. We'll just slide the belt off the tensioner. Down in there, you can't see it on the camera, but it'll free it up. It's actually, the belt is trapped in between the pulley and this outer belt tensioner, so we're not too worried about that. We're just gonna loosen it up, take the pulley off, and then we'll make sure we put the new belt back on as we reassemble. We'll put it back behind there. And we need a screwdriver, because what you can do is hold against the bolt as you're breaking those loose to keep the pulley from spinning in a lot of cases. So what we're going to want to do is we put the wrench on, and then we get the screwdriver in there and hold against one of the other bolt heads, and we'll keep it stable that way. Let's see if we. Okay, so now we just basically drop the pulley off. Now we should be able to access the bolts that hold the bracket onto that top line. Now that little bracket is free. So the only thing holding it in place is the banjo fitting. So when we take that loose, we should be able to slide that out unless there's one more bracket for the lower pipe, but I don't think there is. So we shall see. All we want to do initially is just break it free. So it is 17. Just want to break it free. There we go. And now we're going to clean it real carefully. And so what we want to do is clean around that area, just to make sure when we pull it out we don't introduce any contamination. Now we want to take the bolt loose. It's a bit of a squeeze in there. Hard part will be getting the seal washers back under it when you're doing the reinstall, because there's just not a lot of space, and so putting all that back together is going to be a trick. Okay, so here's our bolt. There's our seal washer. Now let's see if there's enough room to move those pipes out. Yeah, so we're pretty loose now. What we got to do is give enough room to get that line out of there. So let's just break that bolt free. And it's going to want to drop Alright, so now we got plenty of freedom. See, like we can pull that all the way out and set the Vanos line out. Alright, 10 millimeters out. That's what's holding the line in. Now all we got to do is pull up on the Vanos line and shinny it out there. So let's get us a screwdriver and kind of break him free because he's got a seal. So we just want to twist it just a little bit and see if we can get a hold to it, kind of tug it out of there. We don't want to tear it up, we just want to pull it out. Being that we're changing it, we could probably be rough with it with a pair of needle nose. The needle nose pliers here, these may be able to reach in there. We can get a hold of something from some angle. Let's just figure out if there's an angle I can get those pliers in there with. Yes, I can grab it from the top right there. Now all you gotta do is just gingerly pull it up and then figure out how to get that kink up through that hole. So this is where the fun part is. Watch how you're rotating it. You'll want to repeat that rotation as you're putting it back in there. Remember, when we looked at it from the bottom, it went over the top of the crank. So they say sometimes it's a booger. Get in there. I've got my flashlight on there so you can see it. But we'll pull it, continue pulling with these needle nose. Just kind of walking. And then you can see the other fitting coming up. So now we got the hard pipe down in there coming through the hole. We're coming on up. And so you see what I did, I rotated it. I don't know if you can see that in there. But when it comes out, what you want to do is set it down in there, and as it goes, this clears, you want to rotate it, let that pop up, and then it'll clear, and then you tip it, and it goes right back down in there. All right, so let's just clean off that surface there. All right, so let's get our new Vanos line, get the O-ring put on it, and we'll be ready to reinstall, and then we can put all this part back together because we're done up here. We're going to leave the Vanos pump off and the oil pump off until we do the rods because they're kind of in the way. So we will get the next one prepped up and I'll show you how to shove it back down in there. All right, so we got our new Vanos line, and what I did, I just put some oil on the O-ring that comes in. You have to buy it separate, and so we just oiled up the O-ring, and we're gonna drop that back down in there. So same orientation, start out with it pointed upward. As you get to this kink, you're gonna want to rotate it. And I really hope that's coming out on video because this is not bad at all if you get your rotation right. And so then we just want to drop it down in there. Now about halfway, before you go too far, we need to go under the car and make sure we're clearing over the top of the crank. So all I did was just get it oriented just a little bit more. And I got it where it's not hitting anything. Looks like it's gonna come on down pretty easy. And there we go. Not too bad. So let's set back up. Get this uncooperative flashlight to cooperate. And we can go back this way because now we're not dealing with it. All right. So there we are. We got our line back down in there. Right here. See if I can see the end of the screwdriver. I sure hope. There. Yeah, so right down in there is the line where the screwdriver is. So now we got it lined up right in the bottom, so all we got to do is pop it down into place. So we just line the bolt hole up give it a little wiggle, get the O-ring to start, and you just want to kind of gently push it. And what we want to do is go ahead and set the bolt in place so we know we're going to pull down. So this is where the trickiness comes in on not having a lot of room. Go ahead and put the bolt in, but you don't want to tighten it down, you just want to hand tighten it. Okay, now get your big long screwdriver or something and clean it off for dang sure. And then you're just going to want to gingerly tap it, and you got your new Vanos line in place. And then we put all it back together. So we'll leave it at that, but that's basically how you do that part of it with the high pressure internal Vanos line. And then we'll be done once we button up here. We'll be done on the front, we'll change out our belts, and then we'll go back down to the bottom and we'll start our rod bearings. So we'll see you back under the bottom of the car.